As I mentioned, we are going to bring out a book with many, many tables, with an introduction that we wrote approximately 50 years ago. The word was introduced to a fascinating phenomenon, one that had been mentioned in the ancient texts, but remained largely obscure through the lack of technological means to explore it further. With the advent of computers and advanced softwares, this phenomenon gains global attention and widespread investigation. So we mentioned as introduction about the importance of this book, which brings very significant tables, telling us the whole story how the Bible code came to the world. An additional very significant tables which really shed light on the time that we are in now. So, as I brought before, the tables, the whole story, if you remember how it started, with Yaniv and so on, this was I showed you before. Now, we will bring now more as this one, which is very, very important. And this is really the one Wisdom found an interesting table. This is what the Professor Haralik tells us, that the one Wisdom found an interesting table whose keywords from the sentence you will see clearly hidden codes in my Torah. Definitely this fits with the prophecies, the prophecies that the prophet says in future, the whole world will even speak Hebrew and the secrets of the Holy Tongue will be known. Part of it is definitely the discovery of course, as the people of the Vilna Gaon says. So this is an unbelievable table. By the way, I brought in my book that the number, means the skip, the number of the skip, of the letter skip is 50, indicated to the 50 gates of understanding that I prove in different places that the course has to do with 50 gates of understanding, which will in future definitely known. So here what is Professor Dr. The one wisdom found, Iru Beveru, they will see clearly. Yeah, you can see clearly everything, the colors which are. Betorati, in my Torah. Sofen, Chabuya, hidden code. This is exactly what you can see here. Yeah, Iru Beveru, they will see clearly, hidden codes in my Torah. And this is the time when Messiah will come, definitely. And this is also another table that we are going to bring, which Professor Haralik described, and also brings out exactly the statistic of it. Then we'll bring other interesting tables, also to do definitely with Kabbalah and science. There are lots of tables which show clear connection with the Kabbalah and science, which started really with the year 5736, 1976, if you remember, the code came out. And to do with Messiah and Elijah, as we so clearly proved. So this is what Professor Haralik really said. That from the technical side, so this is what he says, one dimension, the Kabbalah of science, refers to the use of mathematics, computers, science, algorithmic search of Mauritius, and all this really, you have to read it to see, but it is very interesting that the time for the blossoming of this reception began from 5736, 1976. This is the time that Torah codes began to be discussed in Israel. It is the time of the beginning of the era of the Messiah, and the time of the beginning of the prophet Elijah returning to announce the coming of the Messiah. All this, it's so interesting that this is all this, everything that is going on with the cause. So it says that all this motivates the table below, which have a small an area table as is produced by the Torah, is 55 to 10,000, which is 5.2,000, which is still significant. And this is what he explains about the table. But there's another table which really we want to show, and we link past many tables basically, which clearly show that the phenomenon of the codes we started from 5736, 1976, with the code basically is clearly show connected with Kabbalah and science, and part of the process of the Messiah and Elijah. There's another table on this idea. Then, what we bring also clear proof that the table, the codes basically connected with the end of days. So it is interesting code which Professor Aralik found, and he said our first step will put together the keywords at the end of days, Bachit Yamim, Gog and Magog, with the expected number of ELS, equal letters in 200. So the quality that the text from the ELS random placement text population would have a small and area table as that produced by the Torah text 14 to 10,000. It means it's very high. And this is exactly what you have here. The phenomena which we know quite well, that since the end of days, we'll have a war of Gog and Magog. Yeah, so this he explains exactly. Professor Alik found it, but also clearly connected with the times that we are in now. So, as I said, lots of tables in books that we are going to bring out. And as we mentioned in the beginning, as you could see, that clear explanation, description is the codes as the code came out of the world. So, all of it really will be very important book, as I said, lots of tables, yeah, and clearly show that the phenomenon of the codes is really part of the process of Messiah, and exactly all the prophecies. We said that in future, the whole world we see clearly the prophecies came out, yeah, which is really through the codes, and this is really come. Also, we'll mention the letter skip, because many times the letter skip number also has to do with Gematria, with Kabbalah, like this one, every 50 letter. I mean, from letter to letter, 50. Because this is exactly the idea that the codes are connected with the 50 gates of understanding. So, as I said, interesting set of tables that you are going to see from time to time more and more, and all of them fit with this introduction, which clearly refers to this phenomenon, yeah, which is no doubt part of the process of Messiah.